The way the politicians have it all set up, they print the money to buy the votes. And so if anyone gets in there and gets responsible, then they get voted out. And so people like free stuff, right? So it's just a system that's designed to lead to inflation and money printing. And that's the underlying problem.
And I bump into Lawrence Lepard, who just wrote a book called The Big Print. So tell us in 30 seconds what people who don't read the book are missing.
The book is an explanation of how our monetary system has gone off the rails, really the last couple hundred years. So the first half of the book explains the Federal Reserve and the monetary system, and how it developed and why it's unfair, and so why we're all suffering from inflation. And then the second half of the book is how you can protect yourself against that, and how we can reform the monetary system by going to a sound money standard, which would involve transitioning back to gold and Bitcoin.
How is Bitcoin going to solve that problem? And I don't mean like sort of theoretically, I mean like practically, how do you see it unfolding?
What we're seeing happen is the dollar as a currency is kind of failing, and it's going to be replaced by sound currencies. Bitcoin is one of them. And so, I envision this happening maybe over a 10-year window. And we've already seen Bitcoin, has come from very low level of valuation to 100,000. I mean, it's going to $1 million, then it's going to 10 million per coin.
Over what period? That's probably the part people are going to want to listen to the most.
The million is probably over 7 years, 6, 7 years, and then the 10 million is probably another 5 or 6 years. So
only. So you see it accelerating in a way.
I do, yeah. Wow. I mean, because what you're seeing is that the financial system is really breaking down, and inflation is really becoming a persistent problem, and the government can't stop printing money. And that's the real cause of all this.
Why can't they stop printing money?
Well, because the way the politicians have it all set up, they print the money to buy the votes. And so if anyone gets in there and gets responsible, then they get voted out. And so people like free stuff, right? So it's just a system that's designed to lead to inflation and money printing. And that's the underlying problem. So, it's been around for a long time. It's a little more complicated than that quick summary.
Of course.
But the book talks about in detail how all those things unfolded. So.
And are you confident Bitcoin will solve this problem?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm highly confident. I mean, it's mathematical, it's distributed, it's fair. Nobody has an unfair advantage. Unlike today's system where the people who are closest to the money printer, the people who know how to game the system, have gotten fabulously rich. And the rest of us have suffered with inflation. And that's because of the banks and the bailouts and all the problems that have, been developing and have gotten more acute. I mean, the GFC was a big one, and then, of course, COVID was another one. And we've got another print coming. I titled the book The Big Print. We already had two. We had one in 2008. We had one in 2020.
Was it a big print of the book?
Yeah, exactly. And this is an even bigger one that's coming. Admittedly, we're still in pretty early days. And a lot of people look at it today and say, well, it's 100,000. I don't want to pay that much for it. It's too much. But what they don't realize is it's going to $1 million, then it's going to 10 million. So if you actually 5 years from now, when it's $1 million, people are going to say, well, I wish I bought it at 100,000. The same way that people who are looking at it today say, oh, it's 100,000, I wish I bought it at 10.
Yeah,
well,
so just get in at the entry point you have in front of you.
Get in wherever you get in because it's going up,
Do you have any concerns? Like, I mean, you're obviously very intelligent and experienced, and so you surely, part of you must be questioning your own thesis continuously. Is there anything in your mind that sometimes makes you think, well, could I be wrong again?
The rate at which it occurs is very hard to know. And so how fast, I mean, I could be wrong about the 7 years for sure. But the one thing I do say to people...
There's a Bitcoiner behind us, by the way.
Oh, good. Yeah, traveling in style. The one thing I will say, and this is a Bitcoin car behind us,
yes,
owned
as
by
well.
a famous Bitcoiner. The one thing I will say is that if the government were to get really responsible and to balance the budgets and to stop printing money, then this thesis wouldn't be as important and it would take longer.
And there's no way in hell that's going to happen.
I say that, and then most people realize and recognize and come to the conclusion that, what, that's not very likely, but it's not impossible. It isn't impossible. So I'm always on the lookout for that.
And even if they were to become more responsible, the pace at which they could do it, the number of zeros that they could alter is so small.
Well, that's right. And also, one could argue that we're too far gone. I mean, if they get more responsible, then they're going to cause the economy to enter a downturn.
Yeah.
You have a downturn in an economy where you've got as much debt as we've got right now. I mean, the debt's either you're going to have an enormous depression or collapse. And so, you really don't want to have that. And we know because of the policies the Federal Reserve has talked about for years and years, if we go into a depressionary event, they're going to basically try to print the money to solve it. So, it's a vicious cycle. It's kind of like all roads lead to Rome. We kind of know where we're going, which is more inflation. But how we get there, that's not so certain. I mean, we're not sure.
All roads lead to Rome, but Rome wasn't built in a day. That's the summary of this interview, isn't
I
it?
think that's about right. I think that's about right. I mean, one needs to be patient. I mean, I remember I've been doing this for a long time now, and I remember, times when a lot of people thought it wasn't going to work, wasn't going to happen, and every year, slowly but surely, it's 3 steps forward, 1 or 2 back, and then 3 forward and 1 or 2 back, and we're at 107 or 8 right now, 108,000 a coin right now. I mean.
And people are panicking.
Right, down from 126, and so it's a discount. And yet, I'm pretty sure we'll be at 200 in a year, and then 300 the year after that, and it's just going to kind of keep going up.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lawrence.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Nice to meet you.
Congrats on the new book.
Oh, thank you so much.